You know that feeling, right? That sudden crushing exhaustion you get in a crowded room? Well, today, we're going to break down the actual neuroscience behind what we're calling the social hangover. Yeah, it's a super familiar experience for a lot of us. You walk into a party, a busy store, whatever, and bam, it's like a wave of exhaustion just washes over you. You feel foggy, maybe a little irritable, and all you can think about is escaping. So, what is actually going on inside your head? We throw around all these labels, shy, antisocial, introverted, but what if it's not some kind of personality flaw? What if it's just biology? The truth is, your brain isn't broken, it's just wired a little differently.
Okay, so the official scientific term for this is high sensory processing sensitivity. All that really means is that your brain is built to process sensory information, sights, sounds, even the emotions of people around you, way more deeply and intensely than the average person's. And that's the key right there. It's not that you can't handle the input, it's that you're processing so much more of it.
So, what's causing all this intense processing? Let's get into the first of three big culprits behind that social hangover. It all starts with something called sensory gating. Think of it this way. Most people's brains have this amazing built-in filter, like a bouncer at a club, that blocks out all the irrelevant stuff. The hum of the air conditioner, the 10 other conversations happening in the background. But for a highly sensitive brain, that gate is wide open. It's letting everything in. It's trying to process every single chat, every facial twitch, every flicker of light, all at the same time.
This is the perfect way to describe it. You're not just chilling at a party. Your brain is processing an unbelievable amount of data, while everyone else is just there. It's no wonder you feel completely drained. That kind of processing power takes a massive amount of energy.
Okay, so it's not just about the sensory data flying at you. There's another huge factor, the simple physical reality of being packed in with a bunch of other human beings. And this brings us to the science of personal space, also known as Proxemics. Remember this number. It's really important. Way back in the 60s, an anthropologist named Edward Hall figured out that we all have this intimate zone. It's the space that extends about 18 inches out from our bodies. And psychologically, that zone is reserved for people we really truly trust. So, how does this turn into a stress out? Well, in a crowd, strangers are constantly breaking that 18-inch rule. They're bumping into you, standing too close, and every single time that happens, your brain's little threat detector, the amygdala, goes on high alert. It starts pumping out the stress hormone cortisol. For your brain, being in a crowd literally becomes a nonstop, low-level threat that it has to keep assessing. And finally, we've got the third piece of this puzzle. And honestly, this one might be the biggest drain of them all. It's the massive mental tax you pay from absorbing the feelings of every single person around you.
This phenomenon has a name: emotional contagion. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's our natural instinct to subconsciously feel and mirror the emotions of others. So if you're an empathetic person, you're not just seeing people in a room, you're reading them. You're picking up on the arguments in the corner, the happy group laughing over there, the anxious person by the door. You feel it all.
Just think about the sheer scale of that for a second. Your brain is trying to run 100 different emotional programs all at once. Switching that fast between joy, anxiety, anger, excitement, it just burns through your brain's energy reserves. And that is what leads to that sudden, overwhelming, I have to get out of here right now feeling. So let's just put it all together. Your sensory filters are wide open, your personal threat detector is blaring, and your empathy circuits are totally fried. What's the result? Your brain just hits a wall. System overheat. So, what are you supposed to do about all this? The most important thing, the big takeaway here, is to start thinking about this experience in a new way. It's not a weakness you need to push through. It's actually vital information. This is the absolute best way to think about it. That sudden drain you feel, it isn't a failure. It's a brilliantly designed warning system. It's your brain telling you, hey, my RAM is full, the processor is overheating, and we need a reboot before the whole system crashes. So the next time it happens, what's the game plan? First, just recognize the feeling for what it is, a biological signal. Second, understand its message, which is system resources are critically low. And third, and this is the important one, give yourself permission to walk away. Leaving isn't you being antisocial, it's you being smart and protecting your own operating system. So I'll leave you with this. Now that you get the neuroscience behind it, it's worth asking yourself,
What's your personal time limit before that check engine light starts flashing? Because knowing your own boundaries, well, that's the real first step to navigating the world without completely draining your battery.